These are my notes on the book Systems Thinking by Donella Meadows. I would highly recommend it for increasing your perspective on how to think about problems or a additional toolbox to view your current environments in terms of systems and how to frame situations that you're in or how to solve problems or answer questions from a more complex type of questions or more complex type of problems. I think systems thinking lends itself well to that rather than more simple problems. So let's start with my notes from beginning to the end. So here we are describing what a system is. So a system is a set of things that is interconnected, that is in an interconnected network or working together as a mechanism to produce a pattern of behavior over time. So the definition is pretty broad and vague to cover both physical systems as well as constructs. A physical system would be like the digestive system, and a construct would be a working organization itself, where the organization is composed of individuals and they're interconnected by relationships, as opposed to a physical digestive system where they're interconnected by physical aspects of that system. So the elements are interconnected in a coherently organized way that achieves something, and the elements and interconnections serves as a function or a purpose. Again, that would work for both an organization or a digestive system. A system may be affected by outside forces, but the response by the system is characteristic of itself, and rarely the response is simple. So again, it lends itself to complex environments and how to view that complex problem or situation in a system model or a system framework. So these notes I'm going through them the first time to make interconnections in Rome to see if there are other existing related knowledge that I can connect them to that's already part of my notes for other books and other information that I've gathered. Moving on, the interconnection of systems operate through information flow. And a function or purpose of a system is derived from its behavior. Function or purpose of a system is derived from a behavior. So if we are seeing a system which we don't know its purpose or its goal, we can reverse engineer that system by looking at its behavior to assume or postulate what its possible purposes are, which is ripe for error. Also, if someone says and provides you a purpose and they're not the owner of a system, that doesn't mean just because someone says it's the purpose of the system, doesn't mean it's true. We can use the behavior and actions of the system to derive or validate that opinion. So if someone says the purpose of this organization is to promote goodwill to people, but its behaviors and actions are opposite of that, then we can disagree to that statement. But again, we can't assume the actual purpose of the system unless we are the owner of that system. I'm trying to get more from this statement. A function or purpose of system is to derive from its behavior. However, we can't assume our conjecture of that purpose is necessarily true just only using its behavior. Without being the system owner. Purposes can be nested within purposes due to system existing without. So even though if we might achieve one purpose or be able to predict one purpose of a system, if we don't know that a system is within a system, that purpose might be just one of many and might be superseded by a more important purpose of a more superseded system. The beginning parts of the book is a little bit vague since the system language and its description by the author is deriving it from engineering and the fields of computer science, and the book is about trying to take that framework and make it more available for general use. For example, I'm interested in using systems thinking in making better decisions and problem solving within a work environment, and as a project manager for a software development team. So the beginning part of the book is very much just how to describe a system itself. Importance of the parts of a system, the elements or actors, again very vague words to make it more applicable, not just in computer science or engineering, have the least effect on the system when changed. So this would mean blaming groups or individuals, in systems are wasted effort when the greater change can be implemented in fixing the system. It's a wasted effort. It's a wasted effort when the greater change can be implemented in fixing the system when we encounter unwanted results or behavior. Looking for faulty elements or actors within a system assumes that the system is perfect or near perfect where we can start to optimize individual elements or actors. I think this is very key to systems thinking, to allow us to go beyond blaming our coworkers or blaming groups within our organization for failing to do or meet a goal. We have to look beyond them and assume that the system that we're all in is not perfect, and we should look at the system itself to see what's broken. Otherwise, if we assume that the system is perfect, then we can start looking for faulty parts of the system, but I don't think anyone really believes that their organization or their current environment is perfect. So this statement leads itself to placing more important in the system, optimizing the system rather than individual parts. A change in the interconnections of a system can significantly alter the system and make it unrecognizable. I'm assuming that the interconnections between the elements or actors in a system. This is difficult to apply. I'm drawing a blank. A change in the interconnections of a system can significantly alter the system and make it unrecognizable. I think one conclusion would be relationships within a system can help define what can help, or within relationships within a system between elements define the behavior and results of the system. Define the behavior, results, I would say results and output of the system. Relationships within a system between elements define the behavior, results, and output of the system. I think that's a safe assumption of that. A change in may make it is this not even significant? I do think that places great importance are relationships with each other if we're going to apply systems thinking to our work environment or relationship-based structures or systems. The function or purpose of the system is often the most crucial determinant of the system's behaviors. Assuming we know the function or purpose of the system, don't assume the goals or purpose have been designed or defined correctly. I think this also goes back to not assuming what the purpose of the system is based on someone saying what the purpose is. We have to derive the purpose or function of the system based on its behaviors. So we could we can backlink the behavior. So stock is the foundation of any system. Stocks are elements of this system. You can see, fill, count, or measure at any given time, like water in a bathtub, books in a bookstore. Again, a very big definition for stock or element, so I'm guessing it could be also construct like a feeling. Is a feeling measurable? I think so. There's degrees of happiness, there's degrees of sadness. So I do think a stock can be measurable. Stocks don't have to be physical. Okay, that's good. So feelings can be. I don't know what the difference between IE or EG. I think it's EG, feelings. So I'm gonna backlink feelings. Maybe it'll be useful sometime in the future that feelings can be seen as a stock or element within a system. Stock change over time through the actions of a flow. So let's backlink flow since this is top level, and then we define flow here. Flows are filling and draining, purchases and sales, growth and decay, deposits and withdrawals. So flows are inputs and outputs for stocks. Stock can be increased by decreasing the outflow rates as well as by increasing the inflow rate. We'll backlink deposit and withdrawal to attach it to flows. I guess I don't need to backlink it, it's under flow here. A stock can be increased by decreasing the outflow rate as well as by increasing the inflow rate. Stocks can act as delays or buffers or shock absorbers in systems. So we can backlink delay on buffer. Oh, and attach that to stocks. I don't know why that's showing up as a misspelling. Absorber. Are absorbed. Absorber. Maybe. I don't know why that's showing up as a misspelling. Stocks can be increased by decreasing the outflow rate as well as by increasing the inflow rate. Maybe I'm trying to make this statement more important than it needs to be. Or I want it to be more important than it needs to be. Stocks can act as delay or buffers in a system. Experimentation and revision to policies can occur due to lag times imposed by slow changing stocks. Experimentation and revision to policies. I would need to backlink policies. Lately I've been just trying to backlink nouns and not verbs, unless that verb is important. By slow experimentation and revision to policy occur due to lag times imposed by slow changing stocks. So I'm assuming we can introduce new policies or experiment with this relationships within the systems to compensate for the lag times as a reaction. So I guess as a reaction. An revision to process can occur due to log times imposed by the slow changing task as a reaction. Yes. Let's backlink reaction. Stacks allows inflows and outflows to be decoupled and be independent. And temporarily out of balance with each other. What does this mean? Stack allows inflows and outflows to be decoupled. Oh, for us to be independent and to be. I need an example for this one. I'm having a hard time understanding what this means. I mean, I get it. For example, if there's rainwater and it's a heavy rain, no, they're still related. I don't know how they could be decoupled unless we're talking about the rate of change is so low that in a way they seemingly are decoupled. I need to go back into the book to fix this. To do, I guess. Let's do to do. I don't know, it's not showing up. Here we are, to do. Research more. I don't know. I should have written the page numbers where I'm at, but I do have, I think this is the beginning of the book. So I'll need to do that. If there is an observed consistent behavior throughout time by the stock, then it is likely that behavior operates through a feedback loop. So feedback loops, I am assuming, well, not assuming, they help provide consistency to a system throughout time. And for non-physical construct, non-physical systems, feedback loops, I'm assuming, are they designed or do they happen or can they occur naturally? Let's ask that as a question. Oh, what happened? I didn't mean to do that. Backspace. Where were we? Oh, here. Right, enter. Oh, you know what? That's why. Feedback loop is formed when changes in the stock are. It's formed when changes in a stock affect the flows into or out of that same stock. So it can happen naturally, not by design. So we can put that here as a subindent. A feedback loop can occur naturally and undesigned as a response to, well, it's already up here. And undesigned as a response. I think that's what we just need to do. undersigned, undesigned. Let's just do undesigned. Is there a better word for undesigned? Feedback loop can occur naturally and undesigned as a response. Undesigned. Well, it's a word, so I guess it's okay. It's bothering me if I don't know what undesigned means. Yep, it's a word. Unintended. I think unintended. I like undesigned as the word here. Design gives purpose, though intentional could be too. Unintentional. Let's keep it as design. And going back to feedback loops, balancing feedback loops is the regulates and opposes whatever direction or change is imposed on the system. On the stock, feedback loops are resistant to change. I don't know why I did not resistant to change. Backlink change, unless it's already up here. A delay in feedback. That's delay. Let's backlink delay and oscillate. Reinforcing feedback loop. A feedback loop that generates input to a stock that is already present. So an additional feedback loop that is amplifying. Let's just say amplifies here. Amplify. I'm actually not. In Rome, I forgot what people use a hashtag versus putting it in that statement. So reinforcing feedback loops are self-enhancing. I'm gonna do self-enhancing and then yes, and then enhancing. I'm gonna do exponential as well as a backlink. I'll stop here for now and continue on another time. Apologies for the background noise. Hopefully this is helpful so far. I know when I was reading this book in the beginning, I was like, how is this going to be helpful for expanding decision making and using it as a tool to view problems or situations in a different way. But in the end, it very much ties everything in together to help give you another tool in your toolbox to make decisions and view problems. All right, thank you.